Very good evening. Hello, hello. Right, let's see who's here. You know, Wolfie, hello. Ghost, hello. Fuzzler, nice to see you. Lilo, hello to you as well. Hayden, hello. Nate, hello. Luke, hello. And on YouTube, I can see Axel, Avioma, Manflex, SRS, and the real Pepito. Hey, nice to see you. Right, welcome to Dubai. Welcome to Dubai. We are here in the PMDG 777. We're going to go in real time and also, of course, live weather. And hey Voyager, moin, wie geht's dir? And we're going to fly to Mumbai. And we'll try to use the newly released FS2Crew add-on. I'm sure you all know what it's all about.
The Captain Black Box
we'll try to do our best to use it properly. We'll see.
New subscribers, please make
Looking
your way
forward
to
to
the
it.
first class cabin, where
Holger, moin,
complimentary
moin.
drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served.
Ghost, my stand is
Thank you.
Foxtrot 17. Fox 17. And Luke, hello. Luke, thank you so much for 57 months. Thank you so much for that. Much, much, much appreciated. And I hope you're doing well. Right, what else? What else? I need to do one more thing, I think. Let me just check. So we've done that. Started that. Right, oh yes, VATSIM, that's it. Because Ghost just asked what stand I'm on. Now we are called Emirates. Did I choose Emirates 71 Bravo, or what did I choose? I chose, no, Emirates 711. Yeah, so Emirates 711. Let me just go on that. No, I have, Voyager, I have filed a flight plan. I have, honestly. Right, and let's do that. And let's do 300 ER. Connect, right. And we are connected. Now, as far as I understand, Chewie,
Welcome aboard the Captain Black
you all know
Box
Chewie.
Twitch channel subscriber
So apparently
experience.
Chewie is
Can new subscribers
streaming
please make your way to the first class
a
cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks,
pre-release
and premium
version
flight
of the
entertainment will be
updated
served.
Dubai.
Thank you.
I have no idea what that brings, but
Hey Captain Black Box and
we'll see.
chat. I wish you a wonderful evening.
Hey, Brennelt, before I get to you, let me first, before I forget, let me say, Nige, thank you so much with the raid. Thank you much for the raid, Nige. I hope you're doing well. And welcome everyone from that raid. Welcome to Dubai. And we do have control. We have the ground and we have the tower online today. Fantastic. Much appreciated. And Brennelt, thank you so much for 91 months. Brennelt, vielen Dank. 91 Monate. Brennelt, I hope you're doing well. And we'll see, Brennelt. Regarding our next group flight, maybe Sunday, but I'll have to check on that. Maybe Sunday. Nige. Big shout out to Nige, guys. If you don't know him, please check out his channel. So we are on VATSIM now. The problem is, I don't know. There's aircraft. Obviously, this is probably a static aircraft. This could be VATSIM. This is static, I'm pretty sure. That may be VATSIM or static. I don't know. There's lots of aircraft over there as well. So, Inibilt's Dubai. Hey, Pyroblaster. So, Chewie isn't trying pre-lease. He's just trying it. Oh, I misunderstood that then. I misunderstood. I thought he was pre-releasing. Ah, okay. Brennard, no. I think they said, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but didn't they say the Inibilt's A350 will come out end of February? So I don't think it's coming out this weekend. I think they said end of February, but I'll be, happy to be corrected on that. Yeah, end of February, I think it was yesterday. They said, yeah, thanks, guys. There we go. So Luke, Voyager, and Leo have affirmed that as well. Okay, they heard it as well. End of the month. Cool. Right, so let me just get into the flight deck here. And I don't know why. Let me just try that again. I want to do this cold and dark. Pointless exercise if they ask. Okay, so what's the problem then? Hey, MAN, wie geht's dir? MAN, are you flying along by any chance? The flight time is, just in case you're interested, the flight time today is 2 hours 20. It's not that long, 2 hours 20. It's within our normal kind of envelope. Cool. And again, I am using the FS2Crew, the newly released FS2Crew 777 PMDG, and I'll try to use it as closely to the books as I can. I've got the book in front of me here, so I'm going to try to make sure I do everything correctly. And then we'll use the voice activation. And so let's do... so let's have a look. So it says... as a pilot flying, you have to perform the procedure yourself. The blue color code uses the prescribed pilot flying action. So I'm just wondering, okay, let me just try. Then let me just press the...
Refueling truck is on its way.
Press that.
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
So now the first officer should do the electrical power up for us. MAN says, not tonight. Still have to do some work, clean up. Okay, no worries, no worries. Would have loved to have you along, but no worries. All good. So let's have a look. Electrical power, but that's FO, right? Let's start setting up.
Fuel truck is in position.
Oh yeah, and this is the voice you're hearing from the first officer.
Don't load aircraft until the fuel
mean,
truck
it's my
arrives
voice,
and ask to do it.
But it's actually AI. So I did not speak those lines. They were actually done with AI, which is quite weird because I do sound more British with the AI than I am actually IRL. Oh, there we go. I was just wondering if he's going to do the setting or not, but he is. He's now powering up. It's just waited a few seconds. So that's 1, 2, 3. Now let me do 4. Just need to set one more viewpoint here. So that's 4. And then just do 5. Yeah, Brenold, right? It's a weird feeling that so many things are AI. So let me try. Is that now correct? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And then we're going to do 6. Oops, 6. That's one else.
Please use your airplane fuel system to set the desired fuel quantity.
I don't know why my mouse just dropped to the floor. Test, 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 test. 64 knots tailwind. I guess we're flying the right direction then, aren't we? So 6, 7, cool, alrighty. So let me do Adiro on. And I think I have to do these items, correct? And I will check. So those displays will take a while to power up. Oh, hang on, there's no external power yet. Ground from flight deck. Not working yet. Ground operations. So, ground power request. There we go. What makes you think I'm singing? No way. Right, so that's that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to set up the flight plan. Nabil, hello. And of course, as always, guys, we have an interesting topic to cover today. You may have heard it on our Discord. There was a discussion going on regarding high pressure area, and it reminds me of 2012, where I had exactly this issue. So if you look at the METAR for Helsinki right now, you will see that you have a QNH value of 1052. And St. Petersburg...
I'm out for the walk around.
Thank you. Sounds a bit robotic. St. Petersburg has actually 1054 hectopascals.
Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served.
Catering vehicles are on their way.
Manflex SRS, thank you for your membership here on YouTube. Much appreciated. MAN, welcome. Thank you, Arnold, right? If you look at the altimeter scale here, so if you dial up, let's have a look how high it goes here in the 777. It does go up above 1050 here. So this aircraft is actually equipped with a system that can go probably up to 1100 hectopascals. Now, on the older A320s, for example, or the 737s, when I flew the 737, the maximum value you could go up to was 1050. The lowest one was 950. And then the question was posted on my Discord. How would pilots deal with that IRL? And there is two answers to that question. The first one is procedural wise. So what kind of procedure would you use if you have an altimeter setting that's higher than you can actually set, right? And the other one would be technically. So how does that affect the aircraft performance, or is there anything that may be limiting? And we'll talk about a flight envelope of an aircraft. So we'll do that in cruise flight. Personally, for me, it's an interesting topic. And again, it depends on the age of the engines, right? The newer engines these days, they all have much more margin regarding the flight envelope. Brandon, hang on, Brandon, what? You saw a screenshot today flying a PC-12 with 152 knots crosswind. Where was that? I mean, it's good it wasn't headwind, because then the aircraft would go half speed almost, right? So, we'll check the routing in a minute. Oh, that's pounds. Why is that pounds? Hold on. That should not be pounds. That should be kilograms. Menu, setup, aircraft displays. There we go. Angle of attack off, and also track up no. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, cool. Ghost writes, you will fly over where I live today. Really? Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the IndyBuilds A350 as well, no doubt. Price-wise, the only thing they said, I think it's going to be below $82. That's what they wrote. They didn't specify any specific value. Right. Why is it beeping at me? I don't know why. Why is it beeping? What? Ah, close right entry 2. Okay. So, yes, I'm on it. Give me a break. So, closing. Close right entry 5. Ah, it's because catering. Ah, I get it. Okay, so catering was there. Michael, servus. I don't know. I have Michael. I have no connections to PMDG in that regard. So I should open disarm all, open 2 left and close 1 left. There we go. Cool. Hey, Turk in the US. I did not watch the stream. No, I was so busy again. Yesterday we were out all day. I was in Bremen. We watched. We had a nice dinner, and then I took my wife to a concert, a candlelight concert in Bremen, which was very nice. It was called ABBA Meets Queen. It was, classical instruments, mostly violins, cello, and man, they played so well. Really cool. The routing, I can give you the routing again manually here. So that's what I'm planning, Ghost. That's the one I'm planning. Yeah, so that's why I was busy yesterday and today.
I'm back. No issues on the walk around.
Thank you. No, they had a great selection of songs. They had a really cool selection of songs to play, and some of them were really hard to play, I can imagine, like Bohemian Rhapsody. What's it called? Rhapsody something from Queen. That's really tough to play on classical instruments, but they did a fantastic job on that. Really nice. So let me have a look at the flight plan real quickly. So we're expecting 207.9 zero fuel weight. The fuel is required 28 tons roundabout. And the weather, let's have a look here at Dubai weather. There it is. So Dubai 050 at 8, northeasterly winds, cavalcade 24 degrees, quite nice. Mumbai has 2.5 kilometers fumes, very typical for Mumbai. 28 degrees, 1013. It could be, yeah, even worse later on. So the visibility could go down, and we may have some northeasterly winds there as well, but we'll see. And Pune, the alternate is 5 kilometers haze, scattered sky clear, 18 degrees. Becoming 4 kilometers haze as well, but pretty stable weather. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, breathing in Mumbai in these conditions isn't very nice. No. Okay. So let's have a look. Zero fuel weight, 207.8 is in. We have the fuel 28.1. And so let me do my items here. I'm going to check the engine page, check engine oil quantity. We're going to check the status page, make sure there's nothing open there. Fantastic, all good. And here we have also the hydraulic quantities, APU, oil quantity is fine as well. Crew pressure 1850 is also fine. And then let's have a look. And I'll just do my normal flows here. Flight director is on. That is fine. Do that in a minute.
Welcome aboard the
Hey,
Captain
Ted.
Blackbox Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Ted, thank you so much. Ted, thanks for the 68 months. And I hope you were doing well, Ted. Request boarding, please. That's supposed to work, but I don't...
Hi, the security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes, please. Yes.
Thanks.
Boarding requested.
Ah, there we go. That does work then. Okay, cool. Yes, VATSIM, Ted. We're on VATSIM. We've got Ghost flying along. Would love to see you here as well. Again, the flight time 2 hours, 2 hours 15 minutes, so not too long. Should be nice, relaxed flight.
Do you want a board crew?
Yeah, Pyroblast, I don't know. There's people that don't like it. I personally do like the 777 here. So let's have a look here. Reserves. Reserves. So Pune was the alternate, and we have alternate 3.2, 3.2 final. So 6.4 is the reserve fuel. And we are climbing to flight level 3. 370. There it is. So 370. Oh, actually, I forgot. I can do that here. Haha. Alpha, you're flying along as well. Nice, Alpha. So you called Emirates 73 Kilo. Wonderful. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And maybe we could try CBDLC. I don't know. Let's have a look here. Ground. We have DCL, so that should work. I'm going to try that in a minute. Exciting. Boarding is started. Fantastic. Cost index is up here. 40. Obvious and step size. So that is all correct. Now, somebody was saying, procedure-wise, there is something missing. In the flows regarding the auto brake setting RTO. Yeah, but that should be actually in the normal preparations, which I have not published, have I? Before start? No. So the normal preparations, I just wrote something about the FMS preparation there. Right. Hey Dennis, how are you? Nice to see you.
Hello. Good evening.
Cool. So that's that. In the meantime, let me go and fetch the the PDC then. So, flight departure clearance request. So we have información.
Good evening.
Bravo.
This way.
So Bravo, facility, Oscar, Mike, Delta, Bravo. It should be Oscar, Mike, Delta, Bravo. I keep forgetting, do we have to connect
This way.
to ATC now? And normally we should not, but there was something, Fox 17, there was something.
Welcome on board.
Mark, did you say hello already? My dear Malindley. Not that I missed your
Welcome aboard the
check-in again.
Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers
Mac
please make
85,
your
hello,
way
good
to
evening.
the
I did
first
miss
class
your
cabin, where
check-in today.
complimentary
Sorry for
drinks,
that.
snacks and premium flight
Hope you're doing
entertainment
well.
will be served. Thank you.
Hey, there we go, Mark.
Hello,
Welcome.
Captain. Hello at all.
Good
Hope
evening.
you all doing good.
I'm doing good. Thank you, Stepke, as well, for the 27-month Stepke. We're doing good. How are you? So let me just try that initially like this. If that doesn't work, we may have to log on to ATC. But I think that should normally be done only en route, right?
Boarding pass, please.
But we'll see.
Hello.
Good. Right, that was that. So,
This way.
my first officer is already finished, is it? Is he? Looks like it. Yeah, NAF logo lights are on. He did a good job. He did a good job, I have to say. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Ted is flying 777 as Speedbird 19 Tango Bravo. Thank you, Ted. Let me know when you're online, then we'll have a look. Index. So we've done that. So departure arrival. Now the question is, Stepke, the chances are pretty much zero. Sorry to say, the chances there are zero. Right. I'm just wondering. It is sent. Man, the last time I am not sure if we have to log on or not. Sometimes you have to log on to get the clearance. And sometimes it doesn't work at. Oh, there we go. 86 commerce. Okay, maybe that does work. Hang on. So that is interesting. So we have that now. New messages. Right. So there we go. Now let's try that again. Yeah, I'm all right with that, Stepke. I'm all right. Mentally, I'm in the process of slowly getting my mind around the fact that I will be retiring soon. So I'm gonna look forward to the last couple of rotations, and then all good from my side. Let me try something else then. Let me try to get the flight information ATIS request. Let's try that. So let's select VATSIM. But the problem is, guys, there was a code. Anyone remember that code where you have to put in if you get a departure and arrival ATIS on VATSIM, you have to put something in there. I've forgotten what though. Yes, Stepke. So that's all there. Request log on set. That's all there. I'm just not sure. Oh, there we go. Hang on. What's that? Hold on. Message com. So unable to provide ATIS at this time. I have a feeling that we may not get ATIS, the clearance again via. I did enter the Hoppy code. You saw that the Hoppy code is in. That is not the problem. Hey Ghost, improved client gives me rotate 161 on the yeah. That can happen. So we're gonna get the clearance via voice in this case, 1835. So let's go ahead and try 1835. Wow. Still going to take a little bit regarding boarding. GSX settings. We can increase the speed, right? Let me try that as well. Settings. Timings. Boarding density. Apply. Let's see if that increases that. Dubai has NADP 2. I'm expecting 3 zeros. The ATIS says departure 1-2 right actually. Okay, 1-2 right. And that will give us the Ivuro departure.
Dubai ground, hello, Emirates 386, gate Fox 22, information Basel, requesting clearance to Bangkok.
Emirates 386, Dubai ground, good evening. You're cleared to Bangkok via the Ivuru 1 Gulf departure. Climb
Thank you much, Ghost.
4,000 feet and squawk 0574.
Clear to Bangkok via the Ivuru 1 Gulf departure, climb 4,000 feet, squawk 0574, Emirates 386.
Emirates 386, readback is clicked. Report and ready for push and start.
Marco 386.
Dubai ground, Emirates 9071, gate Fox 12, ready for push and start.
So Ghost writes runway 09.
I just had to look for you there, Emirates.
Yeah.
971. Pushback is approved.
We'll see. We'll see what wind we get.
Facing east on Zulu, Emirates 971.
Dubai ground. Good evening from Emirates 711 Heavy. Stand Foxtrot 17. Information Bravo requesting clearance, please.
Emirates 711, Dubai ground. Good evening. You're clear to Mumbai via the Ivuro 1 Gulf departure. Time maintain 4,000 feet. Walk 0541.
Emirates 711 Heavy is clear to Mumbai via runway 12 right. Ivoro 1 Golf departure. Initial climb 4,000 and the squawk is 0541.
Emirates 711. Feedback is correct. Report and ready for push and start. Break. Western Global 531. Over the tower, 118.750.
Come on. there we go. So Squawk was 0541.
977 stand Foxtrot 20, request push and start.
Emirates 977. Pushback approved. Face west on Zulu, please.
Push approved, face west on Zulu, Emirates 977.
Oh, that's
Emirates
Chewy.
36 also ready for push and start.
I just thought I knew that voice. That was Chewy, yeah.
Emirates 386.
So,
pushback
regarding
also
arrival-
approved. A long pushback, please, to be a beam by gate Foxtrot 24. Face
Just gonna dial down the
west
sound a
on
bit.
Zulu.
Right.
Long pushback.
So we're going to
Face west on Zulu, beam
expect.
Fox
Shall we try the
24,
ILS 09 then
386.
later on?
Western Global 531, Dubai ground.
One RMP approach. Let's try RMP approach, shall we? Let's go with the RMP 09. Arrival will then be the Pocon to Bravo. And we're going to be arriving via Exolu. And then it gives me a transition as well. Let's have a look at this one. Does that make sense? Yeah, it could be that it's just a vector then from there. Yeah, genau. N-Bon, vectors, and then the Bravo 091. Yeah, we'll leave that in. Fantastic. We have a total distance of
Air India 920
1,066 miles.
Round.
Now here we have 1148. That may be because of the fact that we're departing to the east and landing towards the east. So that could be why it's saving a bit.
0550.
Hey, forward, good evening. I know it's an ILS, but I usually like to try the systems and try to fly.
Dubai ground.
Although we are using...
Go for 36.
Emirates 386, hold position, please.
We're using
Holding position, Emirates
FS2Crew, right? Well, we'll see. We'll try. So that's done, that's done. So the last thing that we're going to do here, whoops, is
Air India 920.
Performance.
Feedback is correct. Reporting ready for push.
so that was 1-2 right, 235.9 correct. CG. So we want optimum flap, optimum rating, anti-ice off, air conditioning automatic. Here comes the weather, calculating the values. So we have flaps 5, we have TO2 89.3, so selected 45, and those are the speeds. So let's go performance, thrust limit, so takeoff 2. We're not very heavy today, so that's why. Not de-icing, lol.
Ha 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 ha. Emirates 11 Bravo. Good evening. Dubai ground.
Oh,
You're clear
dear.
to Kuwait via the Red App 3 Gulf departure.
What is going on today?
4,000 feet.
Right.
Box 0530.
Y55160. That adds all up. Fantastic.
So we are cleared via the Red Up 3 Gulf departure. Initially climb
So we're going to enter 160 here.
And tracking 0530. Emirates 1 Bravo.
LNAV, VNAV. And
Emirates 11 Bravo. Readback is correct. Reporting ready
brakes
for
already
push and
set.
start.
RTO, fantastic. So quick briefing. 777 300 ER. No technical issues. And fuel 28.1, giving us a bit of extra of round about, I think it was 20 minutes. Okay, so missed approach for the haze or something. And where's the fuel value? There it is. So fuel extra, 30 minutes even. 30 minutes extra today due to the weather there. And departure route, let me just get the, actually let me do that here. So let's do that here. So that was the
Dubai ground, it's 70 kilo for push and start.
Emirates
Iburo
73
1 Golf
kilo,
departure.
Hold position number 1 in sequence.
Iburo 1 Golf departure. Up to 4,000 feet. Transition is 13,000. RNF departure via the waypoints Astes 5,000 below. Very important. Correct. Then we've got Geargo
Emirates
4,000
386,
above.
background.
Max 220. Then we've got Delta Bravo 464
Emirates
7,000
386, if you
above.
look at the
Correct.
right-hand window, do you have enough room to complete your push?
Then we've got
Negative 36.
Gated. We have Iburo 10,000 above. Correct. And that's the end. Initial climb 4,000. Further climb when instructed.
Emirates 977, taxi Zulu.
Yeah, performance flap
right
5 takeoff.
hold short, runway 12 right.
We have 151, 155, 160. And we are already, with that weight, we are already below max landing weight. Yeah, so we can do any time, quick return to the field. 1-2 left for landing.
971, taxi
Special
Zulu,
threats.
left kilo 2,
I don't see
hold
anything
short
unless you
of
guys see
runway
something
12
that I don't see. Let me know.
Zulu, left
Tiago,
kilo
good abend.
2, hold short of 12 right, Emirates 907.
So let's pin
Emirates
that.
73 kilo.
Airport.
Behind, you passing company 777, passing from your right to
The,
left, pushback
the,
approved, face east on
Burj
Zulu.
Khalifa, yeah, the big tower, yeah, that's true.
Traffic,
We'll try to stay away from that.
facing east on
So,
Emirates 70 kilo.
yeah, a hotspot taxi out. So we're expecting a short taxi out.
This is where we part ways, over to tower 118.750.
So
Have a
for
nice
us, Kilo
flight,
1
nice
shouldn't be
to
any
you.
hotspots there. That
That
looks good. And 119 degrees is going to be the heading.
Hello, 3 voucher, ready for show setup.
4,000 all set. Cool.
Emirates 350, pushback approved.
Oh, I forgot
face
something.
West on Juliet.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Any questions?
No questions.
Emirates 971.
Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Have a nice flight, sir.
118,
Tested 100. Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Flight instruments.
Heading 209er. Altimeter 1013 hectopascal.
Heading 209. Altimeter 2991. Parking brake.
Hi guys, here's
Set.
the load sheet for you.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist completed.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a safe flight.
Thank you much. Great timing. So the thing is that, contrary to what we had in P3D, unfortunately, here in Microsoft Flight Sim, FS2Crew does not recognize the electronic checklist, so it can't tick these things off automatically. So we have to do that.
apologize again for the mishap.
Continue pushback traffic.
Yeah, it's also FS2Crew, Dennis. Yeah.
Ground Emirates 979er Super.
I thought we could increase the speed of the boarding.
Emirates 979er, pushback approved, face west
I
on
tell you what.
Juliet as well.
Let's restart.
West on Juliet, Emirates 979 Super, thank you.
Emirates 77 Quebec, 10514
Let's restart.
is in the box, pushback approved, face north, Zulu 1.
Emirates 77 Quebec, face north to Lubon. Thank you very much.
Air India 920, pushback approved, face west on Zulu.
So let's close the door. Ah, sorry. That was that. Close, close. So we're gonna arm all doors. Doors all armed, correct? I'm just looking for the command. Complete CDU performance items. That is all done. So I wonder what the trigger is. Oh, okay, the trigger is we're not quite ready regarding boarding time.
Capt, the APU is still off. What do you want to do?
What? APU's on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board today. As
Hey
you
guys,
locate your
all
assigned
packs
seats,
are on
please
board.
place
Are
your
we cleared
smaller
to
items
close?
under the seat in front of you to provide
Yes,
more
please.
room for larger items in our overhead
Yes.
compartments. If you need assistance, contact a flight attendant.
Yes.
If you are unable to accommodate any item in the cabin, please bring it to the
Clear
boarding
to
door and
close.
we will check it for you.
Thanks.
Also,
Let me know if you need
review the
anything.
safety instruction card in your seat pocket. If you are seated at an exit seat, also review the exit seating criteria.
So I'll just do something here. There's one more thing I have to set.
Emirates 352, ready for taxi, FR Amateur, on Juliet.
Emirates 352, hold position, break, Emirates 979er. What's your status on your
Let's
push-up?
start the APU, please.
Emirates 979er, we were at Delta 3, now we're finally pushed.
Alright, Emirates 979er, let me know when you're ready to taxi. Emirates 352, standby.
And ground Emirates 73.
Before start procedure.
Emirates 73 kilo.
That was
short
it. That was what I was
taxi
waiting
to
for.
Zulu, left kilo 2. hold
So I'm going to set the
short
trim,
runway 18.
cleared for hydraulics.
Zulu, left kilo 2, and hold
So I'm going to set up 4.75. LNAV VNAV is engaged.
Recall.
Yep. Is seen. Before start checklist.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door. Closed and locked. Passenger signs. Off. MCP.
And ground Emirates 979er, super.
B2 160, heading 119er, altitude 4000.
Taxi Juliet
Set and checked.
2,
Takeoff speeds.
left kilo.
B1 151, VR 155, B2 160.
Juliet,
CDU pre-flight.
left
Completed.
kilo, hold kilo
Completed.
Mike,
Trim.
4.75 units
taxi
up.
Juliet, right and
0,
Juliet
0.
2, left and kilo, hold by kilo, Mike.
Set and
for
checked.
Emirates 979, super. Thank you
Taxi
very
and
much.
takeoff briefing.
Correct. Emirates 73 kilo, over the tower,
Completed.
118.750. Have a nice flight. Break. Emirates 352.
Completed.
Follow the
Beacon.
company
On.
A380.
Before start checklist
Juliet,
completed.
Juliet 2, left kilo, hold kilo Mike.
There we go, cool.
Dubai ground D Dali 61 at ramp F20 requesting pushback and IFR clearance to Doha Hamad International Airport.
Dali 61, Dubai ground, good evening. I can't give you pushback. You can only request clearance at the moment, just for future reference. You're cleared to Doha via the Navik 3 Gulf departure. Time to maintain 4,000 feet. Block 7303.
Emirates 352, after Airbus 388, Emirates 979, Juliet 02, left kilo, to Mike, hold short, Emirates 352.
Emirates 352, that is correct. Thank you very much.
Pushback ground, good evening, with the 1 Lima Foxtrot on Papa.
With our 1 Lima Foxtrot,
we are ready for pushback.
You are going to go to stand Echo 13 via Papa on your right-hand side.
Taxi stand Echo 13 via Papa with the 1 Lima Foxtrot.
Emirates 6 ready for taxi.
Wow, it's busy.
Emirates 386, cross over to Kilo via
Departure
Zulu
checks
11,
completed. Bypass
Kilo
pin
5,
inserted.
hold short runway 12 right.
Via Zulu 11 and Kilo 5, hold short, runway 12 right, Emirates 386.
Emirates 711, stand Fox 17, fully ready.
Rum F20, requesting pushback and IFR clearance to OT HH.
Charlie 61, you stepped on someone there for a second. I'll put you number 1 in sequence. Stand by, break, Emirates 711. Did you just call for pushback?
A firm, fully ready, requesting push. Emirates 711 heavy.
11, set squawk 0541, please.
Yeah, should be on now.
Excellent, thank you very much. Emirates 711, pushback approved, face east on Zulu.
Push approved, face east on taxiway Zulu. Emirates 711 heavy.
Air India 920,
right,
what's the status on your pushback?
Facing east. Let's try that. Let's keep fingers crossed. Brakes released.
Emirates 77 Quebec, sorry to hear that. If you decide to connect again, just let me know via text.
Emirates 77 Quebec. Yeah, we'll do that. Get it.
Start sequence is right, then left.
8162 on Papa 6.
Start sequence is right,
With
then left.
8162,
Checked.
taxi left Papa to stand
Start
Echo
right engine.
1, correction, to stand Echo 1 left on your right hand side.
Continue Papa and stand Echo 1 left, 816.
Oh no, hang on.
Emirates 386 over the tower 118.750.
I was just worried he's pushing the wrong way because I saw that aircraft facing this way. Oh. Thank God, no, we're pushing the right way.
Can you please repeat?
777 clean extending range on Foxtrot to information channel. Western clearance please to Mumbai.
Speedbird 19er Tango Bravo, stand by, break, Dolly 61. I am putting you in sequence. You're stepping on people requesting clearances. You're number 1. I will get to you shortly. Break. Speedbird 19er Tango Bravo. Sorry about that. Are you ready to copy your clearance?
Yes, I'm ready to copy clearance.
Speedbird 19er Tango Bravo, you're cleared to Mumbai via the Uvuro 1 Golf departure. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet.
Start left engine.
6250.
Clear to Mumbai on the Vru, 1 Golf departure. Initial climb 4,000 and squawk 6250 for Speedbird 19er Tango Bravo, and we should be heavy.
Hey, Flockzap.
Speedbird
How are you?
19er Tango Bravo. That is indeed correct. Did you just say that you are ready?
Sorry, we're heavy. We're at 777, sorry.
Oh, you're heavy. I understood. Ready. Okay, well, readback is correct. Report and ready for push and start. Break. Emirates 979er. Continue taxi on Kilo 4. Hold short runway 12 right.
Continue taxi Kilo 4, hold short runway 12 right, Emirates 979er super.
Emirates 352, continue your taxi left Kilo, right Kilo 3, hold short runway 12 right.
That's it, Kilo 3, hold short 12 right.
Emirates 979er, did I give you Kilo 4 or Kilo 5?
Kilo 4, 979er super.
Emirates 979er, make that Kilo 5, please.
We're making it Kilo 5, 979er super.
Thank you very much. Break. Emirates 352, new taxi, left Kilo 4, hold short runway 12 right.
Cockpit to ground.
Emirates
We have a good engine start.
Ground.
You can disconnect.
Emirates 352, repeat please, I'm sorry.
Taxi Kilo, and then Kilo 4, hold short runway 12 right.
Kilo 4, hold short runway right, my appeals. Emirates 352.
Thank you very much. Emirates 979er over the tower, 118.750. Have a nice flight.
118.750 for Emirates 979 Super. Thank you so much for the ATC. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Before taxi flow.
Background, very good evening. Exterior 918, requesting Alpha Clearance Plan Destination Marshall. With information Charlie on board.
Egypt Air 918, Dubai ground, good evening. You are cleared to the destination via the Navig 3
Flex
Gulf
5.
departure. Climb via, correction, climb and maintain 4,000 feet.
Right is clear.
Clock 0565.
Cleared to destination and flying to set via Navi 3 Golf.
Flight control check.
4,000 feet and clock 0565, Egypt Air 918.
Egypt Air 918, reback is correct. Report and ready for push and start, please.
With call, Egypt Air 918.
Air India 920, right turn, Kilo 3, hold short, runway 12 right.
Before taxi items, flaps 5. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist, anti-ice off, recall checked, auto brake or TO, flight controls.
Checked.
Ground equipment.
Clear.
Before taxi checklist completed.
Was that like an Australian accent in between? I don't have an Australian accent, Jesus.
Delhi 6-1 Dubai ground.
I should have just do the normal voice sets for him.
Requesting pushback and IFR clearance to OTHH.
Ali 6-1 Dubai ground. You cannot request pushback.
That's the third or fourth time he's telling him that.
You can only request your clearance, and then I say report when ready for pushback. Are you ready to copy your clearance?
Yes, affirmative.
Ali 6-1, you are cleared to Hamad via the Navig 3 Gulf departure.
Lovely. A380 there. Beautiful.
4,000 feet. Walk 7303.
Clear to Hamad. Squawking 7023. Delhi 6-1.
I don't know.
Ali 6-1, stand by. Emirates 352, over the tower, 118.750. Have a nice day.
Right, let me just see where I can do the...
tower, Emirates 352, thank you. And
the flood. I think that's on the over panel,
Ali
right?
6-1, negative. I will say your clearance again. You are cleared to Doha via the Navig 3 Gulf departure. I'm in maintain 4,000 feet.
He's not happy.
Walk 7303.
Can you repeat, please?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, he's... Oh no! I feel sorry for him.
You are cleared
oh no!
to Doha via the Navig 3 Gulf
I guess he's pretty
departure.
new, and he
I'm in maintain.
he's just gotten on an airport that's really busy.
73.
Right, now where's my floodlights? Why is
Clear
that
to
so
Doha
bright?
via 3 Gulf depart, squawking 7303, Delhi 6-1.
Ali 6-1, can you confirm your departure, please?
Clear to Doha via 3 Gulf departure.
That works. So where's my...
7303, squawking 7303.
Oh, the storm light, that's why. Oh. We don't have a storm light.
6-1, your departure is the Navig 3 Gulf departure. November Alpha, Bravo, India, X-ray, 3 Gulf.
Repeat.
Oh no! Oh no!
Ali 6-1, departure, Navig 3 Gulf.
Oh no! Oh no!
Please, I've got ADHD, and it takes really long for me to I understand what you're saying, so can you please say it really slowly?
Okay, well, that is understandable then.
Charlie 6-1.
He should have said that maybe right at the beginning.
You are cleared.
Or write
2,
that in the you know,
via D.
to the controller prior to requesting.
3.
Yeah, that's correct, Voyager. Yeah, you
departure.
could send him a text
Climb
as well.
And maintain 4,000 feet. Walk 7303.
Clear to Doha via Nabix 3 Golf. Squawking 7303.
Yeah, Yosin, that's the
Dali
thing, right?
61.
He just, I mean, well, it's one of those things, right?
Climb and maintain 4,000 feet.
I mean,
Dali
yeah, sure, you're
61.
making your life a little bit harder than it should be, but I mean, it, you know, it's his right to fly along.
Clear to Doha via Nabix 3 Golf. Squawking 7303. Dali 61.
That sounds better now.
Ali 61, feedback is correct. Reporting ready for push and start.
Feedback ready, push and start.
On ground, very good evening again from Speedbird 19 Tango Bravo Heavy and 24 requesting push and start.
Seabird 19 Tango Bravo, pushback approved. Face west on Zulu, please.
Push and start approved and we'll face west on Zulu. Speedbird 19 Tango Bravo Heavy.
Sorry, can you tell me where I'm, what base am I going?
Yeah, Emirates 711 Heavy is ready for taxi.
Break. Emirates 711. Dubai ground.
Dubai ground, hello, 711, ready for taxi.
Excellent. Emirates 711. Taxi. Zulu, left kilo 3, hold short, runway 12 right.
Zulu, left, kilo 3, and we'll hold short, 12 right. Emirates 711.
Emirates 711, and you can also switch over to tower 118.750.
118.750, thank you, have a great evening, bye-bye, Emirates 711 Heavy.
Bye-bye.
Right, cool. Clear on the left.
Clear right.
Oh, I forgot he does that.
Air India 920, contact departures 124.9, goodbye.
Right, so there's kilo 3. So we're going to go left there, kilo 3. And then we're going to hold short 12 right. So we had the cabin ready. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Number 352, runway 12 right, clear takeoff, surface 1100,
Set and checked.
1009.
Before takeoff checklist completed.
Metaphors are clear for takeoff, think Medici, that's it.
Dubai Tower, good evening from Emirates 711 Heavy, approaching kilo 3, holding short 12 right.
Emirates 711 Tower, hello. Behind departing A380 via kilo 3, lineable weight, runway 12 right behind.
Behind departing A380 from Emirates via kilo 3, line up and wait 12 right, Emirates 711. Clear to line up and wait.
Cabin crew prepare for takeoff.
Alright, approach sector is clear. Okay, so no changes as briefed.
Number 856, contact ground 118.35. Thanks for flying, goodbye.
118.350, Emirates 856.
Look at the lights, crazy amount of lights here.
Bye.
Cabin secure.
Thank you. So my first officer got terrain. I have weather radar.
Emirates 352 airborne, passing 1000.
Emirates 352, thanks. Contact departures 124.19. Thank you for flying. Goodbye.
Roger, 4.1150. Control, Emirates 402. Hey, goodbye, thank you.
Bye. Emirates 711, runway, actually disregard. 20 more seconds in position for wing.
No worries. Clear for takeoff. Now I have to say that for FS2Crew, and I'm going to do that just so that we are already got the lights on and we're ready to go.
Emirates 711, runway 12 right, clear takeoff.
1 to right, clear takeoff. Emirates 711 heavy. Ready?
Ready to go.
Takeoff. Set, takeoff thrust.
Thrust set. $80 knots.
Checked.
V1.
Rotate.
Tower, Emirates 214, runway 1 to left.
Positive rate.
Gear up.
Emirates 214, tower, hello, runway 12 left. Clear to land, surface winds 100 degrees, 10 knots. Vacate Mike 12 Alpha.
Clear to land 1 to left, vacate Mike 12 Alpha, Emirates 214, thanks.
Emirates 711, contact departures 124.9er. So long.
24.90, thank you. Have a great evening. Emirates 711 heavy.
You too, cheers.
Autopilot on. Flaps on.
One for father at the visit reservation, so you have to think it.
Travel event Emirates 352, those ATC speed restrictions, free speed.
Free speed, no, just speed restriction.
4,000. Dubai departure, hello from Emirates 711 heavy, approaching 4,000.
Emirates 711, Dubai departure, hello, climb via the SID, altitude 13,000 feet.
Climb by the SID, 13,000 feet, Emirates 711 heavy. Alright, thrust ref, VNAV speed. So via the SID means, according to the speed and altitude restrictions, so 220 knots is still valid until gear go. So that's why we're still in flaps 1. Beautiful clear night. Now we should be able to speed up to 250. We do have the 4,000 above. Next 7,000 above is already complied with. Flaps up. Flaps up. And gonna wait until that is up, and then we can call for the after takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist, landing gear, up, flaps, up. After takeoff checklist completed.
I do love my accent. Right, cool. That's done. We're on our way. Beautiful.
Emirates 353, contact you, radar 132150, bye.
Roger, shooters from 150, control, Emirates Roger, thank you, bye-bye.
Bye.
10,000. Shall we release the passengers?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Portable electronic devices may now be used, with the exception of TVs, radios, two-way transmitters, or any other device in a transmit mode, as these devices may interfere with the aircraft's communication and navigation systems.
Alright. Go vertical speed. Let's do 1,500 initially.
Emirates 711, contact you, radar 132150, bye-bye.
132150, bye-bye, Emirates 711.
Bye.
To be level by Musab, expecting imped 3 Bravo for ILS 1 to left, Emirates 4 Papa.
Air Indian 92, so nothing further for you.
Yeah, Nate.
122, that's for the right. Bye-bye.
UAE control, good evening. Emirates 711 heavy, passing 12,000, climbing 13,000.
Emirates 711, UAE radar, hello, identified. Climb flight level 250.
Climb flight level 250, Emirates 711. 25,000.
352, speed 300
VNAV.
knots or greater.
Thrust ref, VNAV speed.
300 knots or greater, Emirates 352.
Emirates 711, maintain speed 260 knots or less.
That's copied, maintaining 260 knots or less, Emirates 711. Blimey, that's slow. Now, I've got to be careful though.
On line 112, decent altitude 13,000.
Because of the pitch.
QNH101.
We've already reached the passengers, so.
Descending 13,000 feet, QNH,
Look at the pitch here.
confirm 1013. So line 112, we are acknowledge information echo.
Set altimeters to
QNH
standard.
1013.
Standard set and cross-checked.
Hey, terrain ahead. Yeah, we've got to be really careful with the pitch here. Line. Well, the thing is, so terrain ahead, the thing is, I do recognize that as being my voice, yeah, but it just sounds, yeah, it just sounds synthetic, right? Because it is synthetic voice, because it's created by AI. But what we can do, we can change that to US. Let's see how the US sounds like.
Sunland 165 Hotel, call Dubai arrivals now frequency 124.9, bye-bye.
Yeah, but that was a terrain ahead. That was my realistic voice. So that's when I actually, you know, went through all of the recordings. It was like hundreds and hundreds of lines I had to record, and then send those recordings to the developer. And so for the 777 sound pack here, he just contacted me and said, is he allowed to use my initial voice set and then use AI to create all the voice sets required? And I said, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Number 529 UA radar.
I do like the 777. It's a nice aircraft. Love it.
Emirates 352.
One more thing I want to check though is regarding sounds. Aircraft. Hang on, where's sound set up? It's not in the menu page anymore, is it? Train ahead? No, not yet. Not yet.
Emirates 711, climb flight level 340.
Emirates 711, climb flight level 340. 34,000.
Emirates 711, there's nothing further for you. Monitor Unicorn 122, that's number 8. Bye-bye.
Thank you much for the service. 22.8, bye-bye, Emirates 711.
Sunline 11.
There we go. Now, the thing is, so let me just put that to below. He is 12 miles ahead of me. Now, I don't know what aircraft that is, but I guess we're going to have to be careful with the speed. Now, I'm going to increase the speed just a tad to 80, maybe to 90, and see how, you know, as long as we maintain 10 miles, we should be okay. And regarding control, yeah, so that was control here. There's no more ATC en route. Oh, there's some weather there. Ah. Ay. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go thrust ref enough speed. And then I can try to get 290 in here. 290 thrust ref enough speed. Right, so that's interesting weather coming up towards Mumbai then. It's an A380, so how come he was so slow in the climb? A380s, they're usually quite fast, aren't they? Let me just find that traffic on Volante. Are you sure? Because I have an A320 Neo indicated there, also flying to Mumbai. Ghost, are you flying in a Neo, 320 Neo, by any chance? Oh, you're right. You're right. I have to. Yeah, you're right. So that traffic is too far ahead. Yeah, you're right. There is an A380 as well going to Singapore. Yeah, that could be the one. weirdly enough, on Volanta, it's actually showing it behind me.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments we'll begin our meal service for the flight. Please refer to the menu given to you on boarding for the 2 meal choices and your beverage choices available. We request that you keep the aisles clear to assist the flight attendants to serve you efficiently and also for your own safety.
Yesterday I saw a little meme clip that had me in tears, laughing in tears. It was there was a series on American TV. What was it called again? It was quite an old series, like 20, 30 years ago, where one of the actors he was a psychiatrist, and he had a brother, kind of very slim brother. What was the thing called? The funny thing was, so it was actually as a meme regarding flight deck, right? So in the flight deck, and then so in that series, his brother requested. So they were in a coffee shop. So he requested some, I don't know, latte with double whipped, fat-free oatmeal, Frasier. That's it. That's exactly it. Yeah, Frasier. Exactly, Nate. Yeah, thanks. No sugar, whatever, right? So 3 minutes, how he wants his coffee to be, and then Frasier gives him that look, and he just says, "I'll have a black coffee." so as a captain, right, with all experience, I just have a black coffee. That had me so in tears because, any new first officers, they have to be streamlined with, in that regard. I mean, you can order any kind of coffee that you like, but in the end, really, what you're going to get is just coffee black or coffee with milk, right? Normal milk. Oh, I drink black coffee. The reason why I drink black coffee is because really the coffee is just there to keep me awake, right? And so, if I drink coffee that tastes too good, so like a nice cappuccino, right, from an Italian restaurant or an Italian coffee bar, then I would drink like 30 cappuccinos on one flight. So to prevent me doing that, I have black coffee, because that way I have 1 cup every 3 or 4 hours only. So that really reduces my coffee intake. That's really the oh, what happened? So that's why, I have black coffee. It doesn't taste as nice, but I mean, it does its job, right? It's like liquid tart. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best, but yeah. But Kevin, the thing is, if an A380 is heavy, VNAV out. So let's go up to 370. Then thrust rep VNAV speed 370. He should be flying faster. Right, we're definitely above that aircraft. So let me just go ahead and go back econ. Oh, there we go. Econ. X. All right, econ speed. So now we're going to go Mach 8.823. Oh no, your game froze? No way. Oh, look at that tailwind. Beautiful. 97 knots. Right, so stay tuned, guys. Like I promised you guys, during cruise flight, we'll talk about an interesting topic happening right now in northeastern Europe. Oh, you're back again? Ghost, thank God for that. Man, I hate those freezes, right? They give you the heart attack. Yeah, so performance, Kevin, performance-wise, a heavy aircraft will fly faster in the climb. That's just, you know, from performance values. Do you prefer the flat factor 777? Yeah, so I do like the manual flying of the 777 from Flight Factor. I totally agree. It does hand fly very beautifully. Yeah, so if we look at the current weather in Helsinki, so let me just go. I'm going to dial down the game sounds just a tad, so I don't have to shout over it. So if we look at the current weather in Helsinki, we can see that the QNH is 1052 and also minus 2 degrees Celsius. So the question then is, what do you do if you can only set the altimeter to 1050? For example, the classic 737s only went up to 1050. And back then, I had this very issue going to St. Petersburg in 2012. I had the very same issue where in St. Petersburg, we had QNH 1056 and minus 20 degrees Celsius. And that way, obviously, you're going to have a problem, right? Because what happens if you set 1050 on your altimeter here, so you can't go any higher, but the actual pressure, sea level pressure is 1056. What does that do to your true altitude? Are you going to fly higher or lower regarding other aircraft that are setting the correct QNH setting? And so again, let me repeat that. So why do you think, guys, why do you think you're flying lower? Think of it this way. What are you doing when you are selecting a QNH setting here? You're priming your altimeter for a certain pressure level, correct? That represents a sea level pressure of 10, let's say 1050, okay? So if we have 1050 and we set 1050, we are priming our altimeter to fly the pressure level 1050. Now, if we prime it for 1050, however the pressure is 1056, what does your altimeter do in this case? Exactly. It's looking for a pressure level representing 1050 and not 1056. So it's going to climb. So you're going to have to climb so that the pressure level then equals 1050, because as you go up, the pressure gets less and less, correct? So what happens is that if you have 1056 as your sea level pressure and you dial in 1050, the true altitude of the aircraft will be higher. Okay, so you're going to be flying higher. How much? Roughly speaking, about 30 feet per hectopascal. So about, let's say, 200 feet higher. Exactly, around about 200 feet higher. Is that critical? Not so much. However, theoretically, it may cause issues with VFR traffic, let's say, that are flying 500 feet offset. That could be an issue. So you may have loss of vertical separation. All right. So the question then is, what do you do? And I made a little file for that. So let's show you that. So, all right, now I can read it better. Okay, so typically, right, cold and dry air masses, so especially in winter, can produce barometric pressure in excess of 1050 hectopascal, which is about 31.00 inches mercury. Many aircraft do not have the ability to set these barometric pressure values, because usually the range is between 950 to 1050, usually on the older aircraft. Right. So whenever the actual pressure is above 1050 hectopascal, the aircraft will be at a higher altitude indicated by the altimeter, which is set to a max value of 10,050, and vice versa for the opposite case. So how would pilots proceed in such a case? We would set 1050, and then ATC has to be informed, right? Since there could be a loss in separation. We're not critical regarding obstacle clearance, because obviously we're flying higher. So the true altitude is higher in that case, so that's not a problem regarding, you know, in case you have very cold temperature as an example, then we would have to do a cold temperature correction. But in our case, it's really just interesting for ATC regarding vertical separation. And I've seen a case in Finland, for example, I've seen a case where back then in 2012, they actually published a NOTAM on how to deal with these altimeter settings. Exactly, so Burak, ATC then will correct the altitude for us if there's a problem with separation. So instead of flying 6,000 feet, they may have us flying 7,000 feet. But that is up to ATC. If there's no traffic, then he will say, Roger, continue, as usual, as normal, or continue normally. That way we don't have to correct anything. Yeah, exactly. So there's a saying, from high to low. It may fail, right? So that was one thing regarding procedure. Now there's one thing though. High to low, look out below. Exactly. Yeah, that's the English version, right? High to low, look out below. Low to high, looks to the sky. Yeah. Good question, Burak. So if you fly to an uncontrolled airspace, then you would have to, you're not under radar control or anything. Yeah, you have to correct that for yourself then. And in that case, I would correct that. So those 200 feet, I would correct that. To make sure that I have the oh yeah, and ATC also, guys. Also, ATC has to know, because on their radar scope, they get our altimeter readout. And normally it should not be a problem in that regard regarding readout, but I'm not 100% sure if they have the correct readout or not. No, the radial altimeter is completely unaffected by any different pressure stuff. So the radial altimeter is a very basic measurement regarding radio waves. It is not affected by QNH settings. Yeah, Josh, happy to hear that. I just, Josh, at the moment, I'm not too happy with the voice though, because it sounds very robotic. And sometimes I seem to have an Australian accent, which is kind of weird. So again, so one of the aspects was the procedural aspect. Now the other aspect is more interesting in my opinion, because that covers the flight envelope. Now for that, let me just get my pen so I can highlight things. Hold on. So I had to jot downstairs for that. Would this affect terrain radar? No. Although, let me check. Terrain radar? Well, actually, it should. Yeah, you're right. It could affect... I mean, if it's only 200 feet, I guess it's not that bad. But theoretically, yes, it should affect terrain radar. Josh has... Thank you much for the kind words, Josh. So, let me just look at these. So this thing here, these graphs is what you have for every aircraft, really. So in the limitations section, you would normally find a respective flight envelope for your aircraft type. So it may be different for... even for 320 versions. So I know that there's versions with the CFM, the old CFM engines, that had a minus 1,000 feet pressure altitude limit for takeoff and landing. However, the newer engines, so be it the newer CFM engines or even the Neo engines, they have minus 2,000 feet pressure altitude as a limitation. So let me just look for a calculator there. So if you go and calculate your pressure altitudes, let me just have a look here. So pressure altitude. So online you can get many different calculators. So I'm going for National Weather Service. So if you go and let's pretend we have 1056 hectopascals and we are at sea level. Let's have a look. 1056. It means you are at minus 349 meters. So this is temperature. Oh, so below, you can't see that, can you? Hang on. Let me just... There we go. So the lower scale is outside temperature. Exactly. So at 1056 hectopascal and sea level, you are outside of your lower limit. And I remember back then on the 737 where I had the issue, the 737 did not have minus 1,000 feet. It actually had minus 2,000 feet pressure altitude limitation. The old A320s, however, they had minus 1,000 feet, so they couldn't be dispatched to all of these destinations in northeastern Germany, northeastern Europe. And that actually does cause issues then, obviously. Right? Because then you have to send aircraft that are not normally on these routes, and they have to do lots of switching around of aircraft types. And depending on how many you have available, you may even have to go and cancel some routes, right? Yeah. Ghost, yeah. Well, I mean, I was chuckling back then. Yes, I was like, pfft. So, however, now this is the interesting thing. There's another value. It's called the density altitude. Right. So, density altitude. What does that mean? So if you look at the definition, pressure altitude is the altitude above the standard datum plane where the atmospheric pressure is 2992 or 1013.25 hectopascals. So pressure altitude only takes into account the atmospheric pressure values. But there's another value. It's called the density altitude. And a density altitude really is something that is very important for aircraft regarding performance, right? So aircraft performance. And so the density altitude is the pressure altitude corrected for non-standard temperature and to a lesser extent the humidity. Exactly, Paul. That's the definition there. Yeah. That's the rule of thumb. You can work out the density altitude. The big question is though, how does it affect turbofan versus turbojet engines? So these days airlines are usually turbofan engines, right? While let's say the fighters are more the turbojet engines. So for us, interesting, turbofan engines. Now, while both engine types are affected, the high bypass turbofan engines are slightly less sensitive to density altitude changes compared to turbojet because they generate more thrust from bypass air rather than solely from combustion, right? Hence, you have these flight envelopes reference to pressure altitude. And that's very important because there have been cases where pilots refused to take off because they mistakenly took the density altitude for that flight envelope, which isn't correct. It's just pressure altitude you have to consider in that case. When you calculate your takeoff performance, then of course that takeoff calculator, that will take into account the density altitude. But strictly for the flight envelope, what we're talking about here right now, so the minus 1,000 feet in this case, is only reference to pressure altitude. That's the limitation you have to stick to. Now, the weird thing is though, so let's calculate the density altitude, guys. So if you think about 1056 hectopascals and minus 20 degrees Celsius, what do you think happens now with the density altitude? It decreases further, yeah. So if we take the minus 1,200 feet pressure altitude and on top of that add the minus 20 degrees Celsius, which is 35 degrees colder than ESA, so by the rule of thumb is the 120 times 35, and on top of that we're going to add the minus 1,200. So we're in the region between 5,500 to 6,000 feet. So if I do take a calculator, the density altitude is minus 6,000 feet. So that's what the aircraft, that's what the engines feel being in an atmosphere that is at minus 6,000 feet. Anyways, the reason why you have a limitation to your flight envelope in that regard, not density, but the pressure altitude limitations. And also you can see here that scale gives you temperature limitations as well, depending on the altitude, the pressure altitude. So we had a temperature limitation under 320, for example, from minus 70 degrees, minus 70, but that was at level 390 or 391. Right, so at 10,000 feet, it was around about minus 40, minus 43 degrees Celsius. You would also have to take that into account, the temperature regarding the flight envelope. Now, I've always wondered why is it such a problem for some engine types to operate in pressure altitudes of, let's say, minus 1,500 feet. Why are they limited to minus 1,000 feet only? And so initially I heard a mechanic or engineer say it's because of the combustion chamber structural limitation. Now that should not be the case. So the combustion chamber of the engine should be able to cover that kind of pressure. So structurally speaking. However, if you think about it, if you have a density altitude, or let's say a pressure altitude of minus 1,000 or minus 2,000, let's say minus 2,000 feet, it's kind of more viscous, isn't it? Right? It's at higher pressure, so think of it as being just denser, and the engine, especially in the go-around case, let's say, so you are at low engine power and you slam the thrust levers, especially in the Airbus, right? It only goes to Toga. You cannot do like in a Boeing aircraft, you cannot do reduced takeoff go-around thrust initially, right? So the I mean, yes, the Airbus does have the new feature regarding the lower go-around thrust, but back then we're talking about the older aircraft types, the older engine types. It was literally just Toga max power. Yeah, exactly. Soft go-around mode, exactly. So the soft go-around mode these days would also then be less stressful for the engines. However, regarding certification, so let's say you have to do or let's pretend you have an engine failure, okay? You're on final. In these conditions, you have an engine failure, and you go around, you slam the other thrust levers of the operating engine into the Toga notch, and then the engine spools up to max power. And if you are at a very, very low pressure altitude, let's say minus 2,000 feet, the engine potentially could get into a stall. Right? It's just gobbling up so much so much air that it cannot cope with it. So the FADEC, so the engine control unit, has only a range to cope with pressure altitudes from minus 1,000 to plus 9,200 feet for takeoff and landing. That's what it's certified for. Will it break if you're at minus 1,500 feet? Probably not. Will it stall? Who knows? Probably not, but it could. So that's why you have those limitations in place, and that's something you have to respect. That is really important. Looking for questions. Hey Thomas, yeah, so Thomas, so if you're in GA flying, obviously your aircraft, especially the prop aircraft, they are extremely vulnerable when it comes to density altitude. That is something, a lot of accidents actually happen because GA pilots disregard these effects.
The Captain Black Box.
Hey, Sim Caesar, and Sim Caesar now, just at the right moment, Sim Caesar. Perfect timing. Big shout out to Sim Caesar, guys. If you don't know him, check out his channel on Twitch.
Thank you.
My subscription advanced an entire month in just one day.
Thank you so
Hello,
much, Sim
Black
Caesar.
Box and friends.
Yeah, so Sim Caesar, he has a PPL, private pilot license, and he operates at an airport that is already higher up. So density altitude for him becomes an issue very often. So very often he's not able to fly because the density altitude will be way too high. So kind of hot summer days, right? And if you, as a private pilot, if you disregard those atmospheric conditions, then you could get into a really tight corner, especially on let's say, kind of shorter runways with trees at the end. And we've seen so many videos already where these prop aircraft ended up in trees because the aircraft was just outside of its flight envelope for these conditions. Yeah, Sim Caesar, right? So, but the thing is, so Sim Caesar, I knew you were the kind of person that would always check. So I'm absolutely convinced that you would be checking, engine the performance values. You would be checking weight and balance values as well. But there are private pilots out there that always kind of half-ass it, as they say, right? They just go, oh, it worked last week, so why shouldn't it work today? Right? It's the same aircraft, it's the same airport. Well, last week it was like 15 degrees colder, and maybe, you know, the pressure was at 1020. Now it's 990 hectopascals at higher temperature, and then suddenly it doesn't work out anymore. Burak asks, can the limitations be related to combustion temperature itself due to denser air which contains more oxygen? Potentially yes. Potentially yes, but again, I'm not an engineer, Burak, so I've never had a 100% satisfying answer on that. Why an engine, you know, would get into issues at these very low pressure altitudes. The only thing, though, this is the thing, right? So while I agree it would be nice to completely know the answer in that case, you, as a pilot, your main concern are the limitations, right? And SimCaesar writes, you have flown with CFIs, so instructors who half-ass it. Well, that's sad to hear, SimCaesar. Yeah. I mean, especially as an instructor, you have so much responsibility. Hey Josh, what could be the reason that sometimes even with no clouds I get? I think that's just a simulator limitation, Josh. Hey Bosch, so you know, enjoy your streams. Very seldom able to join live. No worries. A few streams ago, you gave the altitude restrictions for using vertical speeds. Okay, so I think you're referring to the climb or descent. So if you are within 2,000 feet of your cleared altitude or level, your max, I mean, normally, yeah, your maximum climb or descent rate should be 2,000 feet per minute, while in 1,000 feet from your cleared level, it should be 1,000 feet maximum climb or descent rate. Flying Paul writes, there was a guy in his private plane delivering newspapers or back when charts were not digital, and he never secured his cargo. Oh my god. Where one day he came into turbulence and his cargo slipped into the tail of the aircraft. Yeah. Oh, that's really sad. Yeah. Yeah, you know, Paul, that's also a good topic. The Learjet crash in, was it Pittsburgh? In the US? There's been speculation that it may have been caused by the stretcher. Philadelphia. You're right, Luke. Yeah, Philadelphia. Philly. Thanks, Luke. Yeah, Yosin, thank you. So apparently, I mean, there's rumors that they were transporting a stretcher patient, and that the stretcher moved back as well on takeoff. It wasn't secured properly, and then again the whole weight and balance shifts to the rear. But that's speculation at this point. But that's one of the speculations I've heard. But that would be a plausible explanation. But again, you know, you have to wait until you get the final. Yes, it could also be spatial disorientation, Ghost. Although, you know what, Ghost? Honestly, these are professionals. And, you know, when you fly at nighttime, IFR, you always look at the instruments. I mean, I never look out. Well, I do look outside at, you know, in bad weather conditions as well, obviously. But my main focus is always instruments. So to get a spatial disorientation that bad, I don't know. That explanation just seems a bit off to me. Yeah, Welsh, pleasure. Hey Avima, you're a little lost. Sorry. What's the density altitude used for? If the flight envelope uses pressure altitude as a pilot, why do you care? Oh, okay. So sorry that it didn't come up clear. So for me as a pilot flying a jet, right? I care about the limitations I have regarding the flight envelope regarding pressure altitude. So when I check my weather conditions at destination departure airports, I make sure that I stay within the limits regarding pressure and temperature, right? That's my duty. The reason, well, we do check density altitude. So when we calculate our takeoff performance, the takeoff calculator takes into account temperature. That's why you enter in here, in the performance tool, you enter data like temperature, wind, and also the pressure. So your takeoff calculation regarding climb profile, engine out profiles, RTO, etc., etc., that takes into account the density altitude, right? But regarding the structural limits of the engine, that's where the aircraft manufacturer of your jet engine gives you a pressure altitude limitation, not a density altitude limitation. Hope that clears things. So it's two different pairs of issues in this case. So I'm not saying density altitude doesn't matter for us airline pilots. It does, but it does that in the takeoff and landing calculations. Or let's put it the other way around. Thank you much, Burak. So let's put it the other way around. So if you think that if you calculate your takeoff performance and then you've done all due diligence regarding your limitations, then you are wrong. Right? So simply calculating your takeoff performance is not enough to make sure that you operate the aircraft within its flight envelope. Right? These are two different things. The same, and that's something you have to realize as well. There's also a reason why you have a temperature limitation. So right now we're at at a latitude where you have warmer air. But let's say you're flying, North Atlantic or overhead Siberia somewhere where you have minus 70 degrees Celsius. You have two issues. One is the fuel temperature, which may be limited to minus 37, minus 40, minus 43, depending on the fuel type. But also, there is a envelope limit. And I guess that has to do with metal fatigue or metal, temperature limitations. Because we know that, metal, aluminium, whatever, as it gets colder and colder and colder, I could just imagine that it gets more and more, it gets stiffer and stiffer, meaning at some point, at some temperature value, it will just exceed its limitation and not be as flexible anymore. So that's why you have these temperature limitations as well. And it doesn't happen very often. It's very, very rare that you have or you get into the corners of that flight envelope. However, I mean, somewhere on this earth, you potentially get into regions of plus 45 degrees or plus 40 degrees Celsius, okay? And then you have a pressure altitude of, let's take Denver. So let's take Denver at 5,000 something, or Mexico. Let's go Mexico even. Okay, Mexico. Although I mean that's so high, it's not really. They don't have plus 40 degrees Celsius. But let's take Denver at 5,000 feet, I think they are, right? So at some point, above 40 degrees Celsius, you're reaching the corner of your flight envelope. So again, even though your take performance tells you, oh, no problem, you know, you can take off if you have engine failure, no worries, you're light enough, you have enough power, you can climb out. You still may be getting outside of your flight envelope with regards to these limitations. So, so these limitations are important. It's something you have to have ready in the back of your mind as a pilot. Because sometimes, in very rare cases, but sometimes you get into those corners. Ghost, you have to put METAR and then space and then the ICAO code. So METAR, if I took Mumbai here, it's currently no wind, 2,200 meters. Fume. I think it's going to be a bit problematic if we fly a RMP approach. I think we may have to go with the ILS approach. Let's have a look here. So the RMP approach, 09. Yeah, so look at that. So for the ILS approach, we need an RVR, not visibility, but the RVR values of 800 meters. And if we take the RMP approach, we need 1,800 meters. So I think, because we have a higher minimum as well, so probably we are going to have to fly the ILS approach. Yeah, Flying Paul, obviously, you know, I don't know the chart by memory, right? And I totally agree with you, Flying Paul, that you have to know, you got to get a feeling for when you get close to those limitations. So let's say, give you an example. So let's say we're cruising at 39,000 feet, and then I see the temperature creep up to, you know, minus 66 degrees Celsius. Then I will say, you know, this altitude, very cold. Let's check the limitations again, right? Let's call up that chart and just make sure that we are within limitations. No, I'm a Ghost. I think I have a payware scenery for that. But I'm not entirely sure. I know I have a scenery. I just checked that I have a scenery for that. Or let's do a fuel check here. So we've got Rasky. Rasky. At, so 57 minutes after departure. Here we are 58 minutes after departure. So that's good. And we're supposed to have 13.7 plus the extra of 3 tons, I think it was. Extra. Yeah, 3.3. So let's try that again. Rasky. So it should be 17 tons, and we have 18.3. That's due to the fact that we had a straight out departure, really. Instead of 3-0, we had 1-2 departure, so that's why we saved a bit of fuel. Anyhow, we have enough fuel. We're good on time. So very nice. It's always the SAT. I know, Paul. Good question. I like that question because it is confusing, isn't it? So in this case, you would be looking at the SAT, not the TAT. You are correct. Where do we have the? Where's the SAT? Oh, it's only here on the progress page, isn't it? A cruise page, VNAV page, VNAV. Right, where's the there we go, progress page. So progress page 2, minus 50. Yeah, because that chart, it does reference to outside air temperature, right? So not total air temperature. It's the still air temperature, if you like. So SAT, still air temperature, is the value taken in that regard. So minus 50 is what we would have to look at right now, not minus 20, minus 50. Oh, really? On the free version, the alias doesn't work? Oh, no. RVMR, well, we have calculators. So when we do our calculations on our EFB, I can't show you that because it's obviously somewhat secretive. Top secret. I can't show you my real-world calculator, but what it does in that performance tool, it does give you pressure and density altitude readouts as well when you calculate that. So so we don't have to second guess, right? But yeah, a rule of thumb would be for each hectopascal, 30 feet. And if the pressure is higher, it means the pressure altitude is lower. Josh, okay, so for me, I've always had aircraft that do not have an automatic icing icing warning. So, you know, on your, let's say on the Phoenix or on the FS Labs, you have the option to select an icing probe detection where, no, not just the icing probe, but the temperature detection or something. Oh, actually, it would be the ice detection probe, right? Where it tells you ice detected. Okay, so I've never had that in the 320s, let's say, or the 737. So we always looked for visual cues. So on the FS Labs, they do simulate the ice accretion on that icing pin indicator. I've shown that several times on my streams. So whenever you have that, you have to have the wing anti-ice on for sure, right? Because you have airframe icing. Now the engine anti-icing, there's a different rule of thumb for that, and it's a bit complicated to remember, but on the ground, if you are taxiing at outside air temperatures of plus 10 degrees or lower, and you have moisture, be it rain, fog, standing water, slush, ice, whatever on the taxiways, you would have engine anti-ice on the ground. The same applies for a takeoff and climb out. Whenever you have the total air temperature, yeah, in this case it's the total air temperature, not the SAT. I know it's confusing. But in this case, for the engines, it's the total air temperature. That's valid. Because it's the way the engine compresses air and how that behaves regarding icing. So you take the TAT value. And so as long as that is plus 10 or below, and you're in clouds, or you're flying through rain, then you would have engine anti-ice on. You do that in the climb out until the SAT reaches minus 40 degrees. And if it's minus 40 or lower, then you can switch off the engine anti-ice. Why? Because it's assumed that at these low temperatures, all of the water vapor, all of the water has frozen and has already dropped down, or it has no more icing effects for the engines. Right, so there's always two different things: airframe icing and engine icing. Two different things. Also for the descent, it's the other way around. In the descent, well, not the other way around, but in the descent, as soon as you start your descent and you have visible moisture, even if the temperature is higher than minus 50 degrees Celsius, or colder than minus 40 degrees Celsius, you still switch on engine anti-ice in visible moisture. Right. Until the temperature, the TAT, goes above plus 10 degrees. I know it's a bit confusing, but now if you think, yeah, and also don't worry if it's plus 12 degrees Celsius and you have the engine anti-ice on, don't worry, you're not going to damage the engine. How do I know? I've had engines with an stuck open engine anti-ice valve. So engine anti-ice was running all the time, and it was even summertime. All right, so you can do that. There are, of course, some restrictions. So some systems have to work in that regard, etc., etc. You have to take that into account for your performance calculations and so on. But that is possible. So if in doubt, by all means, use engine anti-ice. Yes, performance is a different matter, Josh. So we talk about the physical side of things and we talk about the performance calculation side of things. So whenever you are planning to use engine anti-ice and wing anti-ice or wing anti-ice, then you have to take that into account on your performance calculations for landing and for takeoff. That is correct. So that's why you have here the anti-ice configuration: engines only, engine anti-ice, or anti-ice engine and wings. Yeah, exactly. Dennis. Marty Snark says we have to open the anti-ice valve in the locked open position if it's throwing errors, though it can cause some faults, fan overheat, fire. Yeah, I know that through the MEL dispatch is possible, and I know the MEL will give you some limitations in that regard as well. That is correct. So yeah, and I don't know that by heart, what the limitations are in that case. Let's have a look. Let's have a look regarding other traffic. Oh yeah, you're right. 10 miles. I can climb up 390, I think. Let me just check. Optimum max 385. I tell you what, Ghost, I have enough fuel. I'll go below, okay? I'll go down to 350. Yeah, Josh, my pleasure. So when you had that button stuck, as you told us, the performance was different. Yes, absolutely, Josh. Yeah. So there were definitely some penalties. Hey, Nicholas, sorry for the late answer. Nicholas, hello to you. Any high expectations? If I've learned one thing with flight simming, is that you've got to be careful with hype. Okay. Very rarely does an aircraft that is hyped to the moon prior to its release live up to that type. That's the experience that we've had, okay? Well, not just aircraft, but also flight sims in general, right? So I am intrigued, let's put it this way. I'm not hyped. I'm looking forward to the A350 from Builds. I expect it to be a good add-on. However, as always, with all add-ons, with all releases that we've had, always, there will be some issues. It's not going to be perfect. And so hopefully there will be a very nice positive surprise where we would find out that the add-on is extremely enjoyable and highly detailed and lots of fun to use. You are? So Snark, are you really real world rated on a 777? Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Especially 300 ER, great stuff. Great aircraft, love it. I should do a quiz right now? I don't know. What kind of quiz? Oh, nice, a ground engineer. High respect for that. I have high respect for you guys. Aviamar, well, I don't know. Yeah, that's one of the aspects, obviously. Let's go have a look at 350. I'm going to enter 350 in the box here. Execute that, and then we go VNAV again, VNAV path. Yeah, always do that, guys. Whenever you change flight level, always recheck that you've got the correct flight level in the cruise page. 2 reasons. 1, you can then fly the most economical speed again regarding your cost index. And the second thing is that it will calculate your top descent correctly. Yeah, thanks, Snark. Yeah, it's one of those things, right? You know, Stick Shift on YouTube. I love watching his videos. I just love watching him do these ground servicings and tests, etc., you know, going in and out of the electronic compartments. I find that really, really fascinating, right? So, yeah, you know, and I talked about this the other day, where I was referring to the Germanwings crash, which is now in its 10th year, so 10 years ago it happened. And I was saying that that a lot of people in aviation, so not just pilots, but we have so many people that carry a high amount of responsibility, you know, for everyone on board. So yeah, when these accidents happen, you know, with so many lives being lost, it's always very, very tragic. So yeah, Luke, I agree. Yeah, so Stick Shift is yeah, lovely. I love his comments. Yeah, absolutely agree. Very nice channel. Yeah, so Snark. Yeah, whenever I have a flight engineer, you know, they have a company ID. Yeah, I can take them into the flight deck for sure. Yeah. It's a Dennis. Yeah, we covered that as well in the last stream. Yeah, it's a 4-part documentary, 4 parts to that. Yeah, and I mean, what struck me again, they interviewed the wife of the captain, and man, I was tearing up. I'm going to be honest. I was tearing up because that was just so sad. I mean, she was so good coping with it, and being able to speak so freely, you know, on TV, or you know, being recorded. But the whole tragedy, which she knows now. The documentary didn't publish many details regarding the voice recorder and so on, what was on there, which was good. I think that they did a really good job leaving those detailed parts out, because, I mean, the whole documentary was sad as it was, very sad. But if you actually put in the details of those voice recordings that they had, I mean, if you watch the press conferences of the investigation board, so the people that were investigating in France, you saw them struggling to keep composure, because they heard the original tapes. So you just have to watch their gestures, their facial expressions, their tone and their voice, and you know how bad it was. Axel, it's on the Mediathek, ARD Mediathek. I could try to find it. We had a link the other day. It's in German, unfortunately. What exactly was in those recordings? Now, I'm not going to go. I don't want to go into too much detail, but the thing is this: so the recordings. Thanks for the link, Luke. Thank you much. Axel, hang on. I'll give you the link. Hold on. Here's the link. The series is called. It's called the Germanwings Absturz, so the Germanwings crash. So you should be able to find that on Mediathek. So, on the recordings, you hear how the captain goes outside of the flight deck, and I mean the recordings were so accurate and so good that you could hear the co-pilot breathing, and you could hear him manipulating the FCU, and they also then from the flight data recorder they noticed inputs on the flight stick. So yeah, and then on the recordings, obviously, you would hear the captain telling the co-pilot to open the door, and as far as I'm aware, he tried to break into the door into the flight deck at some point. So he was using some objects trying to tear down the door. Oh, so the stick shift. Ah, yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, hang on. I'll give you that link as well. Hold on. It's called Stick Aviation. No worries. Here's the link. Have you heard about the Western Airlines flight? No. I one of the worst recordings I've listened to was the collision over South America between a Learjet or private jet and a 737. And so for some reason they leaked the voice recorder from the 737. And that is something that gives you nightmares. Don't search for it. So here's my advice: do not search for it. Do not listen to it. It gives you nightmares because it's real. Those were real pilots, real people, real screams, people dying. So don't listen to it. It's just don't go through that. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Snark. Yeah, me too. It's just Yeah, you know, one of the really, really sad things about the Germanwings crash is the fact that for us, it's just really difficult to comprehend how one human being can not only take his own life, but also not care about taking 150 other lives with him. It's just something, at least, you know, my brain is unable to comprehend. I mean, sure, you can say, you know, it was, you know, he was sick, right? He had a psychological, you know, medical case so bad, and try to explain it that way. But still, it's you know, it's one thing to get something explained to you, and the other part is being able to comprehend what you've been explained. And so I understand the explanation, I just cannot comprehend it from a human standpoint. That's my problem. Yeah. So what was really touching for me was when they interviewed these families and friends of some of the people that died that day. Especially there was a school class, so there's many children that were in that plane. That is just, you know, beyond me, beyond comprehension. You know, it's, and of course, you know, I understand that there were some people there that were looking for someone to blame, right? So I think they need that to finally come to terms and have the feeling that someone who had responsibility has to stand up for his or her responsibility. The problem is the whole case, in the end, never really blames anyone. There is no one that was ever up to this point. I mean, there's still some lawsuits ongoing, but up to this point, there has never been anyone being convicted of being responsible for that. Yeah, realist Pepito, that's what I mean, right? It's just, you know, I understand the kind of fascination trying to listen to that, but otherwise, I mean, it's just, in the end, you realize you just listen to, you know, someone, you know, up to their last breath, right? Up to their last second in their life, right? So yeah, it's just don't do it. It's not worth it. And Nicholas knows. So what I'm saying, Nicholas, is that for those people that lost loved ones on that day, they think they have the opinion that someone is at fault. Someone made a mistake. Someone allowed this tragedy to happen. And so for them, it's hard to live by the fact that potentially there's someone out there that has the responsibility for the fact that their loved one has died, or even loved ones have died, and is not being charged for it and not being convicted for it. And that's what's making it so difficult for them. Yeah, so maybe they need that to find peace, right? To put this thing finally and put their mind at ease or something. I don't know. It's no, Paul. Again, no. I think that would be too drastic, in my opinion. because you know, as we see in this case, there are certain things that you know, what would an accountable manager do if you have a pilot being cleared by the doctors, and who gets his license back and his medical license back? I mean, why would the accountable manager be responsible then? I mean, so the thing is this. So if you watch that documentary, of course, the focus goes on to the doctors that treated that pilot, and then at the end gave him back his medical license. So they are looking into that area, right? They are saying that they should have never allowed him to get his medical license back, right? And as I said as well, one of the comments, or there was a comment that's placed many times, was that in such really drastic cases, the doctors should be freed of their secrecy code. Right. So in Germany we have a kind of I don't know exactly what it's called. It's like a secrecy code. So it's a law, if you like, that doctors are not allowed to hand out patients' evaluations and medical data without their consent. All right, and so there is obviously now people saying that in such drastic cases, doctors should be allowed to break that rule, and you know, if they think that lives are at risk, then, and it doesn't only just affect, you know, pilots. There's many professions where people have you know, responsibility for many lives. So yeah, but you can see this is the topic. So this is an area that gets really complicated. That is just something, you know, there's no easy answer to that. Okay, you have, that's called HIPAA in the US. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, so it's really difficult, difficult to release patient data. Yeah. Yeah, medical confidentiality. Yeah. That's a good description, Voyager. I like that. Medical confidentiality. Yeah. Oh yeah, Ghost, you're right. Yeah, that was also very tragic, right? Yeah, so the air traffic controller that was responsible for the collision between the... Oh, actually, I mean, was he really completely responsible? No, well, he was... I mean, he was partly blamed, or he's blamed for the collision, but in the end, it was more than just one factor. I mean, the pilots... so one of the pilots, I think from the Russian aircraft, they didn't follow the TCAS. All right, but for whatever reason, that air traffic controller's name was leaked, so yeah, so some part of the family of someone that died on that plane then killed that air traffic controller. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Exactly. There were many reasons. So there's several reasons why that accident happened, not just one. Right. Well, we got 1 hour 30 behind us. Let's have a look. Expecting to land in about 45 minutes. Oh, actually, hang on. Let me change. Let me get the weather first of all. Arrival. So currently, yeah. So now definitely easterly winds. So we're going to land on 09. 2.2 kilometers. Visibility. Fume. No cloud. 27. We'll see how Microsoft Flight Sim does that. No, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I'm good with 350. I mean, we'll descend soon anyways. But thanks for the offer. 11.8. Right, so let's have a look. What do we need to do? We need to start preparing for the approach, meaning so before around 80 miles before top descent, get the ATIS, check the FMS, etc. Okay, so we'll do that. So now we're going to set the ILS approach 09, and then the initial approach fix is, let's have a look, yeah, 8.1. 8.1, hang on, but so for the arrival for the star, so that's going to be N-bomb. N-bomb. Nah, hang on. Let's not set transition. Oh, it doesn't have that. Hang on, why doesn't it have that? Xolo, and then 2 Bravo, that's correct. 2 Bravo. Transition. So. Alright, let's try that. Xolo. Execute. So, Kaku Xolo. Then it should be Pocon. Yep, now it's correct. So Xolo, Pocon, N-bomb, vectors, and then it should be. Oh, now I can't delete those things out again. Let's try that. It's kind of weird that I don't know why I cannot delete these things out. Alright, let's try that different then. Okay, so that arrival, Xolo, but no transition. Let's try it this way around. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, that's the way to do it. Yeah, no, so it's one of those things. I mean, our FMS doesn't work that way. So I always struggle with the PMDG. It's really weird. Weird logic behind that. But anyways, we have it now. So 2122. And then let me put the airport on the fix. And there. Then we're going to go with a distance of 25 miles. So all we have 232 miles to burn. Now normally what we do is right now we look at the checklist. So the next checklist will be descent checklist, and we check that there's no notes in here. Because if you have a system failure or something, there could be procedural notes that you have to go through prior to descent. And also prior to descent, we always check recall once to make sure we have no items open there. Status clean. Yeah, Nate, whatever the reason, like I said, it's just not behaving the way I'm used to it. So, but anyways, we've got it now. Good. So now we determine the landing performance. Let's have a look. So performance tool, landing en route, very important, runway 09. So we're going to burn a little bit more fuel, meaning we have now 222.5. We're going to burn another 2.6 tons. So that's about, yeah, 220 for landing, 220. All right, 220. Let's put that in there. How much landing distance do we have? 09. We have 3,048 meters. And we exit, yeah, somewhere here, Echo 1 or November 4. So we could do a config 25, so let's do flaps 25, aircon on, anti-ice off, 5 knots additional, auto brake 3, sounds good. Importing the weather, that's calculated, right, so yeah, so that way we need about 2,200 meters. Now if you use auto brake 2, let's try that, 2.5 kilometers, 2.5, and that would be November 4. Where is November 4? So let's have a look. That is there. Okay. So either we take November 5 or November 4. One of those two. So just to make sure that we don't have hot brakes, let's go with auto brake 2 and a config 25, estimating 220 tons. So put that in there. Perfect. Hey Ted, when you studied did you cover any trips? No, not well. I mean. Not strictly speaking, no. It was never referenced to 777 per se. Now there were chapters, Ted, that said differences to 777, but we were not required to do those. But we will be able to, or we will get a separate training for the 777s. So then we have to go through that computer-based training for the 777 as well, and then we will get some more simulator missions as well. On type. So like I said, even though in my license it says that I'm rated 777, it doesn't mean that I can strictly, go into 777 cockpits right now, IRL, and fly to 777. That's not how it works now. All right, the coastline there. Yeah, hang on a minute. Let me just go ahead and... Right, is that good? We'll take 09. I think it makes more sense regarding 09. Yeah, we'll take that. Cool, alrighty. Pleasure. Right. Are you ready for the approach brief?
Go ahead.
Ha! I now have a new first officer. The senior is in bed. He's sleeping. Okay. Yeah, but Ted, the 777X has a different cockpit. Let me just see if I can find a picture. Let's have a look.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box YouTube channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Hey Krypton, how are you? Vielen Dank. Thank you so much for the 37 months. Good evening. Hope you and your family are well. Yeah, so look at the cockpit. So, I mean, that's still from the experimental aircraft right now. I love the tapes around the yoke. But you can see, Ted, so from the autopilot panel, the displays, the center panel, that looks a lot like the 787. Yeah. I mean, that will be gone, so that's for testing. The overhead panel will definitely look like pretty much like a 787. The color, the gray color, is like 787. Exactly. So that's definitely, you know, that's why you have that common rating. Yeah, thanks Alpha for the link. Things I can't play that because of the music, etc. So, but yeah, so there's a link. Let me just give that for YouTube viewers as well. So that's a link to a video regarding the inside of the 777X. Thank you much, Alpha. Okay, so we're going to start descent, arrival routing via Exolu, then we go to Pokon and NBOM. We have restrictions at here, flight level 120 above at Pokon. That's probably not in. Let me just check. Oh, it is in 120 above. Transition by ATC. We'll check that in a minute. And then we've got NBOM 230 knots at level 110 at exactly. That's all correct, right. Then we go onto the ILS. And the ILS itself has a ILS 09. So the final descent is out of 2,600 feet, 8.1 miles from the ILS Dini. We'll descend on a 3-degree profile down. Minimum is going to be 270 feet. Let's just dial that in. Oh. $270 feet, Barrow, correct. And minimum 270 missed approach, straight ahead 1,000 feet. Thereafter, climbing left turn back to the VOR, climbing 3,800 feet or as directed. But we're going to climb back to the VOR, 3,800 feet. Now, sector is 2,600 in the west, 3,800 in the east. However, within 12 miles, the highest is 2,800 feet. So not really critical. After landing, we're going to vacate left either November 5 or November 4, and then we taxi straight to the apron, park somewhere at this terminal here. So required landing distance, we said with config 25, so flaps 25 and orderbook 2. We are going to need about 2,500 meters, and available we have 3,300, so 800 meters buffer. Not critical either. Any questions?
No questions.
let's prepare our descent.
Recall.
So recall, checked. Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Recall. Checked. Notes. Checked. Auto brake. RTO. Landing data.
RTO, no, that's sweet. VREF 140, minimums bar row 270 feet.
For F. To go. No DH set. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist completed.
It seems like there's a couple of things that it doesn't register. Even though I have selected the prompt, detect let's see. Oh yeah, enable FMA detection. So I have that on. Well, it doesn't detect it for some reason. Anyway. Krypton, you all well? A lot is going on. Took a new role in the Ministry of Interior. Nice. Oh, that sounds interesting, Krypton. You had to give up being a paramedic, but I mean, Ministry of Interior sounds very, very interesting. And I guess right now, a lot of things happening, right? Cool, let's descend. We're going to go down to 120 initially. So thrust, VNAV speed, 12,000. And I was going to check the... transitions 5,000, so with that altimeter setting, what's the altimeter setting again? 1012. So we'll go with 60. So forecast, load. And then transition 060. Is it 5.5? Thank you. Okay, 5.5 it is. Thank you. 55. Entered. Nicolas, no, I'm going to be streaming on Sunday again. So one flight today, and then we'll do another flight on Sunday. And Sunday will be a... a tower is online. Nice. Alphas, thank you so much. So Alphas here on YouTube is doing ATC for us. Big round of applause for that. Alphas, thank you so much for taking the time and opening up the tower for us. That's really, really kind. So now we have ATIS Foxtrot. Expect ILS 09, transition level 55, wind 120 at 3, 2,200 meters visibility, fume, cloud, no significant clouds, temperature 26. QNH 1011 actually. Okay, so 1011 pre-dialed. After vacating, contact 1219. Okay, cool. So we're going to dial in 18.1 first of all. Final. Ghost, yeah, there we go. Ghost, go ahead now. You can have VIP cheating. What do you mean? Not cheating. Right. So, anything else? So that's 2,200 to November 5, and then November 2664. Okay. What did I say? Hang on. What did I have as data? Yeah, I have the same. Yeah, 2664, and Echo 1 is 2215. Yeah, Echo 1, and that's also the November 4, I think it was. Or Echo 4. There's an A380 hovering at 370. Oh god. So let's see, there's an aircraft above me. Let me just increase the speed a bit. So let me go open the speed window and then just descend a bit faster. Now it always helps if you put that in here. So let's put this at 310 knots. Execute. Now it recalculates the descent path. And now I'm going to close that window again. It's gone now? Okay, fantastic. One more thing I want to do. I'm going to put in the Mumbai VOR there. Bravo, bravo, bravo. So right enough. Put that in there. And then we should get some values then in a minute. There are 100 miles to go. Fantastic. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so Ghost, I think right now, let me just have a look here. How many miles you are behind me? Oh, you're very close to me. Okay. There he is, up there. Thank you much. Yes, I'll be doing 310. If you do 280 or something, you should be fine. I mean, I can even go a bit faster still. Let's do 330. Engage. Set seatbelts on, please. Seatbelts on. Doesn't recognize that command. What's the command then? So here, there we go. Seatbelt signs on. There we go. Yeah, you just have to find the right command. Then it works. Oh, what did I set 320? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, why did I say it's flying 320 even though I set 330 in here. That is strange. Yeah, 319 even. Is that the maximum it's going to do right now? It looks like it. No, I set 330. So it could be that's the maximum I'm allowed to put in here. Hang on. Hold on. Why are you slowing down? Non-standard 330. Come on. Oh, that's not right. So let's do it this way. So it's 70 miles, 21,000 feet, bit of tailwind, but that should be all right. Yeah, Boeing, yeah. Yeah, you're right. So, yeah, now we're getting a little bit low in the path. I'm going to put flight level change. That way I can just add a bit of thrust manually here. So now on hold. So what I can do now is I can play around a bit with the thrust. Trying to get a descent rate that doesn't take us too far below the profile. So how many miles are we now ahead of Ghost? Yeah, we're getting up to 4 or 5 miles. So slowly but surely. I'm not sure where that discrepancy came from with 319. I have no idea. Maybe it's a bug that we found.
Transition level.
What? No, it's not yet. But I guess I haven't put... Huh? Hold on. What? So it's not reading the data correctly. Disregard. Let's try this. Hey, so what's up? Wie geht's dir? Right, let's have a look. So VNAV. That's alright. Yeah, slowly getting back into the correct path here. Now, since there's no one ahead of me, what I'm going to do, I am going to put close that routing. That way we're going to have a correct descent path we can adhere to. That looks nice. So we have about 60 miles, looking good. 109.5 is pre-dialed. Yeah, I can see you there, Ghost. Yeah, I'm expediting. And the tailwind has died down as well. That means I'm going to descend down to 11,000. So now I'm going to try and aim. Well, what I could do really is take vertical speed and just get that green banana set to N-bomb there. Oops. There we go. Cool. Tower expects you to vacate November 5. Thank you much, Ted. So that's the first high speed after the crossing runway. So let's have a look. Oops. So let's have a look. So that's yeah, this high speed after the crossing. Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah, Ted, thanks for that. Because I mean, obviously, we're going to be faster off the runway if you use a high speed. If you use a 90-degree angled taxiway, you have to slow down a lot more. Here, you can take like 45 knots. If it's dry runway, then here you would have to slow down to about 10 knots to do that turn. Perfect. Look at that. So now I am going to slow down just a tad here. 270. So now we're going to level off here. The next one's going to be 3,800 as a limit. So out 11,000. So now we're going to dial in 3,800. There we go. Flight no change. Set altimeter to 1011.
2992 set and cross-checked.
Yes, it is set 1011, but I don't know. Yeah, some of the values are wrong. Cool. Let's put the speed brakes out. And we are at 28 miles, 10,000 feet. Coming down nicely. Speed to 50 now. It does look dark there. It looks like a lot of haze. Yeah, of course. Thank you much. Right, let me just get the latest METAR again. I don't know why. I have a feeling sometimes lately, yeah, we had to go around because suddenly the weather was getting worse. Right, we have good indications. E-bomb, the ILS identified. Localizer glide slope is showing. But we have to slow down a bit quicker now. Landing lights on. Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters.
1011 set.
2985 set. Approach checklist completed.
Cabin is ready. Oh my god, Alpha, really? That bad? So right at minimums we get the I'm gonna take out some more energy here. We got out at 3,800. Flaps 1. Arm the approach mode. Arm the approach mode. We have lock and glide slope. 2,600 now. Glide slope's captured. Flaps 5. Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 15. Mumbai Tower. Good evening from Emirates 711 Heavy on the ILS 09.
Emirates 711 Heavy, Mumbai Tower, good morning. Wind 120 degrees, 03 knots, runway 09 at clear to land.
Thank you much. Runway 09, cleared land, Emirates 711. All right, on the ILS, we're going to set missed approach altitude 3,800 feet. Is set.
2,500.
Radar altimeter alive.
Checked. Flaps 20.
Emirates 711, plan to vacate via November 5.
That is copied. We will plan to vacate November 5, Emirates 711. Flaps 25. So I'm going to set 145 for the approach speed. Oh, hang on. Why did I put... No, disregard. Why did I put 30 in there? Did I put 30 in there, or did my co-pilot put 30 in there? So 153 we should be flying. All right, there we go. Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
25. Set and checked.
Landing checklist completed.
Cool. Manual flight. Ay, what a soup we call that.
1,000.
It's checked.
Air India 920, Mumbai Tower, good morning. Runway 09, continue approach, number 1.
Approach lights in sight. Oh, not too bad then. Not too bad. On path. What, that tower on the left, or the house on the left, that looks so close. Right, I'm going to go with the parpy lights here. Not trying to get too low. Continue.
$100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Speed brake not up. Reversers normal. $60 knots.
Air India 655, we are ready for push and start.
Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened.
Check speed.
5, standby. Emirates 711, welcome to Mumbai. Continue Mike 7, hold short of hotel.
Mike 7 will hold short hotel, Emirates 711.
There, India 9020, wind 120 degrees, 03 knots, runway 09, clear to land. And there, India 655, report POB.
So here's Max 7.
Say again, India 655.
And then hold short of hotel.
India 655, report number of souls on board the aircraft.
Souls on board on today's flight is 6133. India 655.
India 655, POV copied, push and start approved, face East Hotel, QNH 1011.
Push and start approved, facing East Hotel, QNH 1011, India 655.
After landing for
Emirates 711, right turn hotel, stand Victor 17.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion
right
of our
hotel
flight.
and Victor 17 to stand. Thank you so much. Love to hear your voice here, Emirates 711.
And the aircraft is parked safely at the
Cheers,
gate.
hope to see you soon again. Good night.
Thank you, good night.
And disembark.
So,
We'd like to thank you for
let's
flying
have a
with
look
us
here.
today. We appreciate your business and hope to see you again on a future flight.
Gate. Victor 17. Follow me? Yeah.
India 920, welcome to Mumbai.
Right, it's,
the gate
pretty
number 5, hold short
pretty
number
much
1.
straight ahead then. Oh, there. Okay, there we are. Thank you much, Flocktap. There's the follow me. Indicative, good evening.
Do you have a stand of choice tonight?
So there's 16. Oh, am I already too far? No, 1617, that's good. All right.
India 920, Roger, taxi via Mike 7, right hotel, stand Victor 20.
There's the follow me. I'll follow that. Yeah, lovely approach. Very uneventful, I would say. So here's 17. One thing I noticed today, the performance, the FPS performance of the sim was really good. Really smooth. Very happy with that. And it looks like we have a docking system. Very nice. There we go. 777W.
There, India 920, looks like you just went past Mike 7. You can take the next left on Mike 6.
There we go.
India 920, no problem. So it'll be Mike 6, Mike 5, hotel, stand Victor 20. Let me know if you'd like a progressive taxi.
Shutdown items. So my first officer should do the rest here. not sure what command. So I've got park brake on. Still no power. Confirm the aircraft has power source. We have that. Fuel control switch I put cut off. And I put my flight director off. Just wondering what the command would be. Alright, then let me help. So we'll put these off. Fuel pumps off. Beacon light off. Seat belts off. Transponder off.
Moment over, India 655 ready to taxi.
Shutdown checklist.
India 655, taxi hotel, Mike 7, right.
Yeah, it's just
1,
stuck somewhere. So
runway
park
14.
brake is off, and that's the shutdown checklist completed. Nice.
Taxiway hotel, Mike 7, right number 1, hold short runway 14, India 655.
The boarding requested.
Nice. Yeah, so welcome to Mumbai. I've been here
By Tara, very good evening.
IRL
Speedbird 19
last year, so...
established ILS 09.
And there's Ted coming in as well.
Speedbird 19 Tango Bravo, Mumbai. Have a good morning.
Very nice flight. Thomas, thanks for watching.
Clear to land, wind calm.
Clear to land, winds calm from
Nick,
Speedbird
but it
19
is.
Tango Bravo.
Today, I don't know what it was. I had literally
Sound of choice, no problem.
no lags, no stutters really. Really smooth. Very enjoyable. Yeah, I mean, so right now, usually it's a bit of pollution. So humidity,
Passengers
pollution,
boarding starting.
and you very often have yeah, you know, like fume, 2 kilometers visibility. Yeah, you know. Fuzzle, thanks for watching. Guys, yeah, stay tuned for
Good
Sunday,
night,
okay? Sunday, we've got
Black Box.
another stream coming up, so Sunday a bit earlier than normal. So I'm planning to do the flight from Nuuk to La Palma. I hope I can do that with the FS Labs, I mean fuel-wise. So that's what I plan for Sunday, if anybody wants to join along. And Ghost, yeah, thanks for joining the flight, Ghost. Pleasure having you along. Hope you enjoyed the flight, yeah. But luckily, yeah, the visibility wasn't as bad as expected initially, so not too foggy. Voyager, mach's gut. Gute Nacht. So I'm trying to fly from Nuuk to La Palma. So that is, I'll give you the identifier. Hang on. La Palma. Golf Charlie Lima Alpha. Although, yeah, it's 2,002 meters. 7 hours? No, hang on. No. Let me just check. Sky Vector. Right, and where's Ted? Ted's coming in to land. There he is. There's Ted. There's, as always. Thank you. Flying along. Is it really that long? Oh my god. So then I have to rethink that. Nice landing, Ted.
You're India 655, cross runway 14 via November 1, continue November, holding point runway 09.
It's 2,500 miles.
Cross runway 14, We'll continue on November.
Oh, no, hang on. Sorry. Lajes.
655.
Sorry. My bad. No, Lajes. Lajes. Oh, no, let's do Ponta Delgada. Sorry, Ponta Delgada. Yeah, we'll do Ponta Delgada. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. Lima Papa Delta. That's better. So that is 1,800 miles. They're like 4 hours. Hang on, no, hang on. Super Bowl. Super Bowl is really late, isn't it? Because I'm taking off around 1500 UTC.
Speedbird 19 Tango Bravo, welcome to Mumbai. Taxi number 1, hold short Mike 7.
So that's the routing then. Bravo Golf Hotel.
Taxi November 1, Mike 7, and I came in a little bit hot there, sir, as you probably noticed. Speedbird 19 Tango Bravo.
Love it.
I did. I mean, you probably paid for the whole runway, so just let me know if you have a stand of choice.
Okay,
yeah, will do. Thank you very much, sir.
He did take the whole runway. Good God. Yeah, so, I mean, again, I think, with the ground speed of about 500, that's about 4 hours flight time, isn't it? Yeah, so Super Bowl is in the evening, so it should not be any issues with that. There should be no issues. As always, my dear moderators, thank you so much for all the help. Yeah, I'll probably be watching Super Bowl as well, yeah. Last year's Super Bowl was crazy exciting. Crazy exciting.
655, runway 09, cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, I watched it, and including the overtime.
Clear for takeoff, runway 09, Cockpit wind, Jai Hind.
Okay, here goes. Take
655.
Take care, goes. Thanks for joining. And look at that lovely Speedbird 777 there. Good old friend Ted.
Speedbird 19 Tango Bravo, expect stand Victor 19.
Expect stand Victor 19 for Speedbird 19 Tango Bravo, thank you.
I don't know yet, to be honest, David. Even last year, I don't follow the Super Bowl or the football, American football along by any means. So I'm going to have a look at both teams, see, see which one I would prefer. I just hope that it's going to be an interesting game. I mean, last year is hard to top, isn't it? Last year was so exciting. Yeah, with the overtime there.
Speedbird 19 Tango Bravo, next right Mike 7, hotel, stand Victor 19.
Next right and hotel and then stand. Thank you very much for Speedbird 19 Tango Bravo.
Ooh. I hope that's going to fit, Ted. Ooh, that looks a bit tight to me. Is that a static aircraft? Could be. That could be static, yeah. Then not a problem. Easy to call. One world champions won the games and played in one. No, I mean, I don't know the rules all that well either with American football, but I can only say that last year was so exciting to watch. And tomorrow's a nice rugby game at Twickenham. At least he didn't say cricket. If he said interesting cricket game on tomorrow. Actually, Mark, Mark, I'm not sure, Mark, are you still here? Mark, honest opinion about cricket. Do you watch cricket? Do you like watching cricket? Alpha, that's you there. You look, but you don't see it. No. Oh. The thing is, you know, Mark, you remember that well. We had that school sport, right? So we had school sport rugby, we had cricket, we had golf, we had, well, I went for athletics and basketball later on then, and soccer as well. But cricket was so boring.
Right, so Speedbird 1 Tango Bravo. Am I okay
Really?
to power straight ahead, sir? I'm on default.
I know it's sophisticated, you know, don't get me wrong. It's just
Tango Bravo, no problem. All yours.
Playing
Right,
it,
thank you very
you just
much,
sit around, you just don't do anything for ages. Finnish school sports is floorball, ice hockey, skiing, and yeah, I mean, Nick, I wouldn't expect anything else, right? Yeah, but ice hockey, yeah, I have to say that is fast and that's also tricky, isn't it? I mean, apart from that, is there any other sport out there where a game can take days? Like cricket can go for days before you have a winner, right? Yeah, Captain Chaos, that's it, right? Captain Chaos is the only sport you can go on for 5 days and end in a draw. That pretty much describes it. Next time as you. Okay, Mark. Yeah, looking forward to that. Nate says when I was in Edinburgh, I went to a local semi-pro club, super fun. I made a fun American accent. What are you doing here, mate? There we go. You always find something.
Murder, India 655, passing 7000.
Yeah, and it's white. So they play on grass, and they wear white trousers and white jerseys, or white jumpers. Like, why?
It's an auto handoff over to the next frequency. Anyway.
So when you get you know, these green stains, grass stains on that, how the hell do you get these off?
Unicom, thank you for your service. Good night.
Cricket is the fastest growing sport in the world. Is it really? Okay, well then I guess I missed something there. I always thought golf was, I mean, in Germany, golf was the fastest growing sport for a while.
Mumbai will be closing shortly.
Thank you so much for coming online. See you next time.
Yeah.
Do you want to deboard crew?
Yeah,
Yep,
me,
great.
from me
Always
too.
by chat.
From Ted Barker. Thank you very much for coming online. Thank you.
Cheers. Fantastic. Guys, so once again, thank you so much for the lovely discussions, for the lovely questions. Thanks for watching, and I will see you again on Sunday if you like. Until then, have fun. Thanks for all the support, guys. Good night.